way to Cleveland, he called me and said, I can't carry you anymore. You got 30 days, you gotta move out. So I'm sitting there in an interview with Cleveland, and this man is shaking my hand going, congratulations, we want to hire you. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, where am I about to live? So I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. It's population 330,000 people. So not like a hick town, but definitely not a big city.
Not too big, not too small. Shreveport, Louisiana is just right. Looking for a city that's just right for you? Welcome to Shreveport.
I should call the request line. Be like, can I hear a song? What's up? I'm good. The only time I ever was happy or expressive or free was when I was either writing or had a mic in my hand. I was on somebody's stage. I've been rapping since I was 12, and I would do every poetry, open mic, talent show, tryout, anything I could do. Because the only time I felt like something was when I was on the stage and I'm rapping and I'm on beat and I'm just going, and these are my lyrics and the crowd is moving. And so I always had that. Man, it looks a lot better since last time I was on air here. Y'all didn't have this. It's cute. In the 12th grade, the night jock at the radio station, J-Tech, used to have freestyle contests every Friday. And so I called in one Friday, and he will put you on the spot. This is not recorded. You pick up the phone and you ride the beat and you just go. And then you'll battle this person. Whoever wins, the city will vote. Cool, boom, battle the next person. And so it went on for 9 weeks, and I won 9 weeks straight. They had to retire me, like Bow Wow's video on 106 and Park, like retired freestyle Friday champion. So he and I just kind of stayed cool. I was 16, he was older, obviously, like 25 or so. And he would just check on me sometimes, like how's school going and whatever. When I got to college, my second semester of college, he was like, hey, you wanna be on my show? And I was like, I guess. And so that's how I got into radio. Total accident. I was supposed to be the next Tupac and go platinum and all that. But instead I wound up as the night show co-host. Good times. Once I was in Shreveport for doing radio for a couple years, I started realizing, you kind of good at this. All right. And so J-Tech would teach me how to make contacts. You know, email this person, send them your stuff. And I wound up seeing a job opening in Toledo for a night job. And honestly, I just applied for the job. He called, he interviewed me, he liked me, and he hired me.
Funny story, I met Lil D in Toledo, Ohio. I believe it was 2008 or 2009.
I met her at the radio station. She was interviewing my dude Spade, and I was tagging along, and she was the new jock in town. Still had her little fucking southern slang. She ain't got it no more though.
I met Lil D, this might have been 06, 08, at the radio station. I had a project coming out, and actually I had a mixtape coming out, and I went up there for an interview, and that's where we met.
I met Lil D, I'm from Cleveland, but I was going to college in Toledo. And she was in Toledo. She's a DJ for the local radio station, for the Hot 97 in Toledo. And I was an intern at the radio station.
Honestly, for me, I thought Toledo was a big city, and like it was exciting. It was the first time I ever saw snow. People had funny accents. It was the first time somebody said, "You be having me weak," and I didn't know what that meant. I was like, "Are you okay?" And they were like, "No, that means it's funny." Everything was new. Like not just the city, but literally everything. I had to buy a coat because I realized my coat was a jacket. You know, 16 hours away from your family, you're learning new lingo, new attitudes, new customs, new ways to dress. Everything was different, but I loved it because the city embraced me like I was one of their own, and it was really amazing. Toledo is a dope place.
Yeah, we got fired from the same station.
Did we?
Toledo.
Everybody get fired from that station. I lasted in Toledo on air for 16 months, and then I got fired. Long story short, we were giving away tickets to see John Legend at the zoo. I put on Facebook, I got tickets to see John Legend at the zoo, hit me up. We weren't allowed to have a radio station, MySpace page, Twitter, any of that, or we didn't even have a website. And so that was my way of trying to brand through social media. The assistant program director printed out the Facebook page, sent it to the owner of the company, and said, she's trying to sell tickets that we're giving away on air. And they fired me. No questions asked. My daddy used to always say, like, you know you can come back home and just start over. And home's in Louisiana. And I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even a thought. Immediately I was just like, Daddy, if I come home, it means I gotta quit the radio station and I'm gonna be out of radio again. Immediately.
Well, when she lost her place in Toledo, her house, I really didn't feel a type of way because I just thought it was, people get kicked out. Shit, they bounce back.
I had gone about 3 months and I wasn't able to pay my rent. I lost my unemployment, and I was trying to make something work. I was working for a chip company, stocking the chips on the shelves in the grocery stores, and was really, really trying to get it together, and I just couldn't. And on that third month, I had finally gotten an interview at the radio station in Cleveland. And on my way to Cleveland, he called me and said, I can't carry you anymore. You got 30 days, you gotta move out. So I'm sitting there in an interview with Cleveland, and this man is shaking my hand going, congratulations, we wanna hire you. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, where am I about to live?
Well, when she said she was moving in a hotel, when somebody say hotel or motel, you don't think of a motel as the motel that she was actually at. So in actuality, I thought she was cool, but I know financially she wasn't.
So I packed all my stuff up and I put it in a storage, and I moved into a motel. Financially it was really rough. And so I was only on air one day a week, Saturdays, 9 a.m. to noon. And by then I had learned a different way because I couldn't afford the turnpike. That $5 was a lot. And so I was taking Route 2 to get from Toledo to Cleveland. And so the motel, the only requirements for me was be close to Route 2 and accept pets because I have 2 cats. And so I moved into a motel that was smelly, small, rundown, with prostitutes and drug addicts. It's just, I don't know. You take that whole ride where you hungry, you know you got this much gas left, and when you come in here, none of that matters. Because you got a mic, you got a board, you got 2 computers, you got phone lines, and it's time to be Lil D. You ready to entertain. This is the best 3 hours of my life. That little pit in your stomach that was hunger, I didn't even care. I leave here knowing that I was gonna go sleep in my car. But that 9 a.m. to noon, I probably would have given up if it wasn't for that 9 a.m. to noon. I got fired from the chip company. I've been fired from every regular job I've ever had in my life. I'm in the store doing my job, minding my business, and the manager goes, who are you? And I was like, oh, I work for the chip company. I'm stocking the shelves. Cool. 20 minutes later, are you done? Yeah. Tell your boss I don't want you here anymore. Huh? You left this shelf undone. You need to put more chips up here. And I'm like, they're not in the back. I can't stock what's not there. I called my boss and he was like, don't worry about it, just go home. I go home, I go to the motel home and take a nap, and I wake up to a voicemail from him saying basically, thank you for your work and God bless you, Godspeed, goodbye, you're fired. And so now I'm sitting in this motel with one job, the radio station, and I was part-time, 29 hours a week, $13 an hour, and I only get paid on the 10th and the 25th. That $168.19 is due every Friday. I don't know how I'm going to pay this now. And I mean, I paid him every Friday like clockwork. And so now money is very tight because I got one check coming in and it's got to last at least these 2 Fridays. And I remember once Friday came around and I didn't get paid till Monday. And so, I mean, I begged him, listen, I paid you every single Friday. Like, I'm telling you, I will have it Monday. Just let me, just do me this one time. I'ma have it. And he was like, no, you either pay it today or you get out. And I'm damn near in tears, like, please, like, I've been paying you on time. I swear to you, you can hold my debit card if you want. Like, I will have it. And he was like, no. And I'm like, well, can I at least stay until Saturday? And he let me have it. The reason being is I didn't want to drive my cats to Cleveland, do my air shift, and then drive back with them. So I did my air shift in Cleveland, told Tone bye as always, all right, have a super day, to drive back here, pack up the cats and my clothes in my car. I drove to the truck stop across the street, had my loaf of bread, my peanut butter and jelly, as always, made a sandwich, used my steering wheel as my plate, ate it. The cats meowed, fed them, and reclined my driver's seat and took a nap. Woke up, it was still daylight. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. And then it finally kind of sunk in, like, you got to sleep here. So this is a rest stop that's not super far from Toledo, but it was far enough to where I knew I just wasn't gonna make it the rest of the drive. I was just too tired. And so me and this rest stop got very acquainted with one another because I would pull in here to sleep. You know, I mean, it'd be cars here and people traveling, having to stop to pee or get a Sprite or whatever. But I would just pull in, sandwich in between some cars, get in the back seat of my car and hope nobody saw me. Sometimes if there were people out, I would try to look like I'm like fumbling through my bag or looking for something in the back seat or where's that one thing? And then when they pulled off, I just get in the car. I had a messenger bag that had my stuff in it that I would use at work, like my notebook and my computer, and that'd be my pillow. And I would, I guess being short pays off because I just get in the fetal position and sleep in the back seat.
If I would have known that that motel looked like that or that she was staying in that type of environment, I would have tried harder than like just speaking to somebody, giving somebody advice. I would have tried harder because she's not from here, for one. She don't have family. So I would have tried and found a place for her to stay or something. Like, cause that like I said, I even text her. I was like, man, you come from the bottom. So seeing her now, people just don't know the struggle, man.
The reason that sitting in this motel and not having food and, you know, sleeping in my car didn't affect me the way that it affected other people when they found out is because I had been hurt so much emotionally that physical wasn't that big of a deal. I'm sleeping in my car. Okay. My mama told me she wants me to feel. My birth mother's on crack. I've seen her high. Like, who gives a shit if I sleep in my car? If I couldn't talk on that mic and answer that phone and be Lil D, I probably would have been back in Louisiana working at a call center. And thank God for Tone, because it'd be a lot of days where I just didn't have food. I didn't have no breakfast. I didn't have money for breakfast. I couldn't even afford the tollway. And Tone would just walk in here and be like, got you a tea cake. And he had no idea that tea cake was probably the only thing I was going to eat the whole day.
Oh, yeah. The Russian tea cakes on Saturdays. Like, it's crazy, man. After seeing excerpts of her book, I never even thought that it, like, she really, like, it helped her sustain to get something to eat. That's crazy, man. But yeah, I remember every Saturday, this Russian baker used to have a show. I used to produce their show, so they used to come in with all type of treats and goodies or whatever. And I mean, one time I had one that offered to her, and she liked it so much, I would make sure that every time I did the show that I would make sure that he brought some some bakery goods in for D, because D would come in for the afternoon shift.
Between 9 and noon, my stomach didn't rumble. There was no motel. There was no sleeping in my car. There was Lil D being heard by everybody in the city. And those 3 hours kept me alive. I really owe a lot to that station. It's because of that I didn't give up. That one little shift. I used to avoid coming to the break room because I never had any money for the vending machine. And I'd be so hungry. And I used to annoy the hell out of Robin Simone because she was next door at the other station. And I had the music blasting loud. And I mean, yeah, I was trying to get in the zone, but really I was trying not to think about the fact that I was hungry and it was all this food right here. And I didn't have that $1 or them 85 cents. And then I would always have something ignorant like 37 cents, which isn't even enough for the gum. So I was only on air one day a week in Cleveland, but Kobe Cole, my program director at the time, created a position for me, the social networking assistant. And so I would post to all the stations' websites in the building. It was 4 stations. And so I was able to make 29 hours a week. And so, you know, my checks wouldn't just be out of control, but they'd be a little over $500. And so I was able to start accumulating enough to where I can go find something that's like 400 something. I can afford something that's not here. I'm not working at the chip company. I have no reason to be here.
I saw how bad the situation was when we actually moved her to the location that we moved her to, which was in Cleveland. And the situation was, I guess she was looking for somewhere to live. And it might have been Craigslist or something. You know how people list that they need, you know, a roommate or something. So she found someone online that was renting out one of his rooms. So when we got there, this was like my first time in Cleveland, like in the city. Like, you know, I would go there to, you know, for events and things like that. But man, it was a haunted house or something. I don't know what it was. But we moved her in, and the guy, this guy, he was kind of peculiar. I don't really know what else to say. That's the word that comes to mind. And it was just an eerie feeling, you know. There was a lot of things going on in the house. Dude had 100 pets, and it was just weird.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that guy. Yeah.
Explain what happened with that.
I don't remember, to be honest. I remember him being a creep. That's all I remember. It's so vague, to be honest.
I walked in that house and that man said to me, well, me and my girlfriend broke up, so I guess we're gonna be roommates. This was an older man, and I knew right then and there, you just got hit with the okie doke.
Like, I think the situation was, it was his house, he stayed with his girl, so he wasn't gonna be there. And the day we left her there, me and my dude Spade just felt funny, like, cause it was a weird vibe. Dude was weird, and a couple hours later, Lil D, she called me. She's like, "This dude is weird," which I keep saying cause he was, and he just do weird things, man. So I really was worried. Like, me and Spade was worried when we moved her in there.
And about a month after I was in there, my mom called me and said that my Aunt Denise sent me $500 for a deposit on an apartment. And she was like, don't ever worry about paying me back. Just get out of there. And so I found an apartment. It was $450 a month with a $500 deposit. I don't believe in coincidences. So he had no idea I was moving, and I wasn't going to tell him. I was just going to dip. So I had a bathroom connected to my room. He had a bathroom connected to his room. I get up to brush my teeth, and I open the door to my bathroom, and he's in there, butt naked. And he's like, sorry, I was getting ready to take a shower. There was no water running. There were no clothes. There was no towel in there. And more importantly, why are you in my bathroom? Naked. And so I packed up my stuff, got up out of there. He texted me after I left and was like, can you tell me what happened or why you left? How can things be better? And I just blocked his number and never thought about that man again.
When she got her place, when she moved to, well, I think she moved out of there. She found some apartment, and I think it was in Cleveland Heights, if I'm not mistaken. Shaker Heights or something like that. I'm not familiar with Cleveland, but it was Shaker Heights because it had the ice cream spot down the street. And she had the restaurant right underneath her, so she loved it. She loved it.
I just remember the Shaker apartment, she was the happiest at that time with that because that was hers. Like, she didn't have to share it with nobody, you know what I'm saying, besides the cats. But it was literally hers. And I remember her having dates and everything over there. That apartment legendary. That apartment is legendary.
I finally moved into my own apartment. $450 a month, all utilities paid. And you know, my checks were enough to where I'm gonna be broke, but I'll be in my own spot. I don't give a damn about being broke. And so my apartment was very little. If you stand in one good spot, you can see the whole apartment. You walk in, you have the living room, the kitchen, and then the bedroom and bathroom. And it's like a square, and that's it.
Yeah, when she finally got that place, it was a relief because, okay, she don't have to be around the weird guy anymore. So she had her own, her own space. So when I finally came to see it, it was like, oh, like, it wasn't becoming of her, but it was hers. So, it was real small, very small. And she had a lot of cats. And I think I told her to get rid of some of the cats so she could have more space, but she loves her cats.
Kobe, I sent myself to 72 PDs. Kobe was the only person to email me back. So I sent that man something every single Sunday. And when he gave me my shot, what was I supposed to do? I'm sorry, Kobe, life hard, I quit. Kobe, as mean as he was to me and as hard as he was on me, that man is one of the realest, period. He's from Philly, and so he knows the people at the corporate offices for Villa, the sneaker clothing store. And he hooked up an interview with me to be like their social networking coordinator. And they interviewed me, they liked me, and they started paying me $1,100 a month to run all the Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and implement digital contests and things. And so I'm getting this $13 an hour from over here and $1,100 a month here, guaranteed. And if it wasn't for Kobe, one, responding to me when I was trying to get a job, two, creating a job for me to get 29 hours a week, three, hooking up an interview with a whole other company so I can live, there wouldn't be a Lil D on air because that was my only way. I appreciate that man probably more than he knows. This place saved my life. You're not gonna have me out here messing up my makeup, though.
The thing about Lil D, and the reason why I think she stuck with the radio is because of passion, man. She come from Louisiana, moved to Ohio. Even though her boss was a dick and he let her go, she still had that passion for radio. For one, she knows for a fact, hands down, she's better than most people who do radio. And that's one thing that I think she stick with it. If you're good at something, you want to stick with it, no matter how much people bat you down or anything. So I think that's the reason why she stuck with radio. And as you can see, she's doing very well now.
I just continue to be inspired by D and the ladder she climbs. And I think she's just like the ultimate competitor, because you get in a good situation, but you want to better yourself. And I've seen her go from larger market to larger market to larger market, in terms of her career. And I've seen her, just continue to grow. And I always tell her, I'm like, you know what I'm saying, when you make it to that great level, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm friends with her. Because I know she's going to do it, then I just get to gloat. Like, yeah, I knew her, since the beginning. So, it's always good to be a part of, like, watching greatness kind of, ascend. So it's always dope.
Long story short, you're not going to out-hustle me. For me, it's not about who got the most likes on Instagram or, you know, who can make it the cutest. Nah, I'm never going to sleep in my car again. I will never get evicted again. I will never not have food again. And so if I see an opportunity, I'm going to go all out for it, and I'm going to make sure you know who I am, because I've been fired from radio, so let me make sure the city know me too, because I need to still get this bag if the radio station fire me. I'm going to make sure you know who Lil D is, and you know every single part of me. One, because I'm never going to wind up here again, and two, there's somebody here right now, and I need them to know that this is not the end. This is the beginning. And when you make it out of here, it's going to make a bomb-ass book.